This is a weird shaped phone. Okay, it's not a phone. In fact, it can't even take a SIM card. But hear me out, because the AYANEO Pocket DMG portable handheld gaming system, I think has more in common with a phone than it does with pretty much anything else. For starters, it uses a Snapdragon processor, specifically the G3X Gen 2, which is pretty similar to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It also has an OLED touchscreen on the front, a fingerprint scanner, and it runs flipping Android. So functionally speaking, it's an Android phone with no SIM slot and a controller attached to it, which doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. There's a ton of great emulators on Android if you want to play retro games. It just means that unlike some handhelds we've seen recently that use FPGAs to faithfully recreate the hardware of the original console, this is relying on software emulation. However, that does mean that it comes with a little bit more versatility. Let's take a look, shall we? I'm just gonna put this one aside for now, but we will be taking a look at it later. First impressions, very interesting. Obviously, it is heavily inspired by the original Nintendo Game Boy. But in addition to your D-pad, your A, B, and your start and select buttons, there's a joystick, what appears to be a clicky touchpad, and then a whole whack of buttons on the left and on the right side of the device. We'll take a look at those more closely in a bit. First, let's check out the accessories. Okay, a little bit of documentation. USB-C to C charging cable, but no brick. That will have to be purchased separately, though they did include a little retro themed one in our gift box, along with some joystick caps, and what appears to be an affordably manufactured metal mug. What else is in here? Oh, tempered film screen protector, whatever tempered film means, and a little carrying case. Ooh, also included, wait, is that a replacement joystick top? A joystick cap matching the body color is included in the packaging, which gamers can freely replace to show their personality. Those really look a lot like the same color to me, but maybe I'm missing something here. Anyway, what I was really digging for in here is these. Dun, 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 dun. A couple of cute metallic replacement shoulder buttons. Cool. Enough about accessories though, let's fire this thing up. Oh! And while we wait for it to boot up, now's as good a time as any to take a look at the AYANEO Pocket Micro. This has a downgraded processor from MediaTek, a smaller screen, but with a more modern 3:2 aspect ratio, and apparently still enough power to play PS2 games with the appropriate buttons. This form factor also, I gotta say, appeals to me a little bit more, even though she's a little on the thick side for a controller. I assume this is the power button with the fingerprint sensor. And I assume this is a screen protector. Ah, yes. Let's talk about some things that they both have in common. Power buttons with built-in fingerprint sensors, micro SD slots for expandable storage, particularly important if you have a large collection of retro games, large active cooling solutions with the Pocket DMG apparently being able to do up to 15 watts on the processor, and they both have Hall effect joysticks. Oh, in this case, 2. There are some differences in the specs that just come down to the processors being used. So the Micro is limited to Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 5.2, while the DMG can do up to Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3. This, I don't know if it's SoC related, but this one is USB 3 10 gigabit per second, and this one's only USB 2. None of those things are gonna make a huge difference to me playing retro games. What's gonna make a big difference to me is the form factor and the screens. The DMG has a much higher resolution display. It uses a 1240 by 1080 OLED display that they claim peaks at 450 nits, which should make for a really vibrant gaming experience. But a really unusual, almost 8:7 aspect ratio that's gonna put black bars on just about anything you play. Even Game Boy games are not quite at this aspect ratio. Meanwhile, the Micro uses exactly 4 times the screen resolution of the Game Boy Advance. It doesn't get quite as bright, and it's IPS instead of OLED, so you're not gonna get that same outstanding contrast, but the 3:2 aspect ratio means that if you're playing more modern titles, you are less likely to have ginormous black bars. Ah yes, they both have some pretty interesting buttons on them. So what does RC do? Remote control perhaps? Where did that go? Okay, I had the settings open and RC brought me back to home. Okay, hold on. Does it do the same thing here? But RC, no. Well, okay, apparently on this one, We figured out RC is kind of like a home button, and then LC is your multitask button. And some things in Android are gonna operate with the D-pad and some things just kind of won't. Yeah, that sort of checks out. And then on this one, I don't know, I guess we swipe up for home. And RC, I assume is a programmable button, but it's not immediately obvious to me where it is. And honestly, I don't really care. I'm mostly focused on the gaming experience right now. Are these oh, whoa, there's lots of buttons here. Oh, you know what? That's actually kind of a clever place for them. I don't think I would accidentally press those. So we've got my start and select, and then there you go. Okay, got your little AYANEO space slide in interface, and whatever this guy does, which seems to be nothing. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm gonna try the Pocket DMG first. Is this actually a dedicated volume wheel? Wow. And a button. Wow, and it mutes it. Wow, push and hold, you can do all kinds of stuff. Whoa, you can change the brightness and your performance, change your vibration, your fan speed, and previous shader. Oh, you can change shaders. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, they call it a MagicSwitch. You know what? I like it. Is this one giant button or is this, oh no, that's your R2 and your L2. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's play a game. Enough of this.
But first, a message from our sponsor.
Swann. Take your security further with their Max Ranger camera system. You'll get crystal clear 4K video, and Wi-Fi Halo technology allows you to connect each camera wirelessly to the NVR hub from up to 2,000 feet away in open air, or up to 650 feet away through almost any obstacle. That's up to 6 whole football fields of wire-free coverage with built-in solar panels that keep the cameras charged all year round. Plus, there's no monthly subscription fees, and it even comes with a pre-installed 64 gig SD card. Check it out at our link in the description, and use code CIRCUIT25 to get 25% off. Okay, control type, here we go. I've got touchscreen or touchscreen. Cool. Gyro aiming is supported. By the way, both of these do have gyros. Theoretically, this is an X input controller, so it should just work, but I guess it doesn't. Why don't I play something else? Wow, this runs a lot better than the Game Gear one, I'll tell you that much. Oh! Sorry, Simba, sorry. I see what you mean about the D-pad being a little bit on the bigger side. That is interesting. I would never have thought about it until I actually played a game, but it's a little slow to roll on it. You know, like when you're going one way and then oh, actually I wanna go the other way, I wanna fine tune this or whatever, you know? You know what, as bad as this aspect ratio would be for modern things, it's not bad here. There's just a little bit of letterboxing. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's try a Game Boy game. Okay, let's go Game Boy Color. Razor. Yeah, Razor Scooter. Wow. So you actually end up with a tiny pillar box. Well, did they tell me what to do? Whoa, dude. Oh, look at that grind. Let's go. Boom, boom. Woo, grind, let's go. Woo, grind set. Dang it. So you're not gonna get that like pixel perfect fidelity that you might get on another device, but the resolution is high enough that honestly, it just doesn't seem like a problem to me. Okay, what do you wanna try? You wanna try Dolphin? Super Smash Bros. Melee. Okay, so we're gonna need an analog stick here, I think. This is really not a great spot for an analog stick. But boy, does the GameCube ever look good on this thing. Like, dang, you know? Like, dang. Zelda is going to absolutely obliterate me. I have never even played the GameCube version of this game. I have only played the Switch one, and I'm dead. Nice. Performance seems fine. I haven't noticed any obvious hitching. Yeah, no obvious issues. I mean, I wouldn't have expected any. It's a pretty powerful little SoC. That's neat. There's one more button we haven't talked about yet. A power mode switch. Whoa, game mode, let's go. Whoa, max mode. Holy shnikes, listen to that fan go. Let's try Call of Duty. Apparently Bell mapped some controls for me already, so I won't have to use a touchscreen up here. Okay, here we go, here we go. So you want me to use the touchpad? Okay. Oh, ooh, okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I shot him in the knee. Then you can bind the buttons to whatever you want, I guess, but oh my goodness. Okay, let's try the other one. Realistically, it's more of a portable emulation machine, less of a, I would actually play modern mobile touchscreen games on this, so. All right, let's try the Micro. Honestly, even though it's less powerful, this is the one I'm a little bit more interested in personally anyway. Oh, what, dude? Let's go. Man, these joysticks are right up in my face when I'm trying to play video games. I was a little confused. I was like, wow, this is some really good upscaling. I forgot that they remastered the game for the All-Stars release. Like, dang, I don't remember the NES looking this good. They made a point of saying that it's a single piece of glass across the front, so it's like kind of a seamless deal. So that's pretty cool. If it was an OLED display, it'd be a lot cleaner looking because you wouldn't be able to see the kind of glowing, not quite black bars. You can kind of see that, right? I definitely prefer the form factor of this one though. That is a big difference. Man, I hit the A and X like every time I touch these. It is really small. Like it wouldn't be a problem for a kid, but if you're an adult, you're gonna notice it. Oh, I wanna hear the speakers. Not bad. Wow, they get kind of amplified by your hands. Like naturally, just from holding it. I like the form factor better of this one. She's a little heavy though. Aluminum casing versus, I'm pretty darn sure this is a plastic casing on the DMG. Oh no! Dang it! Defeated by a ledge. And you might be defeated by the pricing of these. Because as cool as these devices are, they are, how you say, not cheap. The Pocket DMG starts at $450 US and goes as high as $700. Albeit that's for a 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage version. So it's not exactly a low spec device, but you've got to be the kind of person who knows you want a powerful Android device in this form factor and you have a lot of games you want to play on it, otherwise it's going to be pretty tough to justify. As for the Micro, it starts at $220, and if you want 256 gigs of storage, it goes up to $249. That is quite a bit more compelling to me, but it is a little bit on the cramped side, so your mileage may vary. If you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe to ShortCircuit. See you later.